Welcome to this episode of the Founders Pod. We are not in person. Wait, Matt and Brandon are in person. Actually, the video, did you guys do the contain audio video where you're kind of widescreen?
We're a
lot better.
Yep.
Cool. So they are in person. I wasn't able to make it to the interview they did today, so I'm here remote. But we have working with different things. We'll see how this works out in the end. But anyway, I'm glad we're here to do this mini episode. Brandon, welcome. Welcome. I'm Jordan Hansen, and these are the co-hosts.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm Matt Lamb. I'm here.
Matt Lamb, Brandon Minor, Jordan Hansen. We're on Matt Lamb, Brandon Minor in the United Commercial Insurance Studio. Jordan, not on location, joining us remotely.
From the Jordan Hansen studio.
From the Cobalt Intelligence Studios.
That's right.
So happy to have us. Happy to be here for a mini pod edition. Question to you, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's my answer.
Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh boy, here
There it is.
Roswell, New Mexico area.
Matt and I have received a lot of chats from Brandon.
No, I like this. I like Brandon's fascination with this.
Roswell, New Mexico, Area 51. Okay. People have been making fun of, okay, pointing fingers, scoffing,
mocking
at the story involved in Roswell, New Mexico. My question to you, gentlemen, are we alone in the universe?
We're alone now.
Oh, nope, not that.
No.
Not even that. Do you think that aliens have visited this planet?
That's the bigger question. If we're alone, I don't think it's possible. I think we are not alone. The universe is too big for there not to be something else out there.
I don't think we're alone.
Here's some theories to nibble on. Okay, here's some theories to nibble on, because I think the original, kind of the first one was Roswell, New Mexico, Area 51, if you're familiar. Okay.
Have you been there?
I have.
Close by there?
I have not, but my mother-in-law was born there.
In Roswell?
In Roswell, New Mexico. Because her dad was
a little town?
Small town.
Small town.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I don't care what you think of me. Okay?
You're laying it out there.
I'm going to throw it out there, okay? It's been said that the group of Air Force pilots that we trusted to fly around government planes saw a crashed vehicle, UFO, with pilot bodies. Okay, they showed the material. It was like aluminum foil where you crunch it up and it would immediately spring back into formation. Mm-hmm. That they saw hieroglyphic like writings. Okay. That they laid all of this out, and then all of their stories changed to a weather balloon. That, it was just a weather balloon. All of them, right? And then years later, a few of them came back and were like, no, that was not a weather balloon. That was an actual UFO, right? But by that time, there was sort of that narrative, or like everybody was crazy that thought so. Okay, let me tell you this.
What? Late
40s, I believe.
Okay.
And then government airplanes, 2, came in, picked up the debris in 2 different airplanes, in case one crashed, and flew it to an Air Force base. Now, my question, if it was a weather balloon, why would they bring 2 airplanes to do that?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm throwing it out there. I believe in aliens. I do. I believe in aliens. I believe a UFO has landed and crashed and visited this Earth. And some people believe that we are that the human race is a part of the alien. Like, it was sort of,
we're an offshoot
of it. Like, yeah, because that's what made us more advanced than the animals around us. Like, aliens came down, they messed with whatever DNA, and Homo sapiens were created.
And you think they like checking in on us, is what you're saying?
I don't know. But it recently came out that a government whistleblower says that we have up to 12 UFOs, 6 working, 6 not working.
Mm-hmm. They check in on us, but they sometimes crash.
That means they got to check in a lot, right? If they're crashing.
Well,
I mean, you don't think they're crashing all the time? They got to be pretty good at what they're doing.
I agree with that. And some Air Force pilots are saying that they visit quite often. That they don't know what to do when they're there, when they see.
How many plane crashes are there in a year? Do you
Very
think?
few commercially.
Commercially,
Very,
very
very
few.
not.
But we know this. We know the conditions, right? Like, let's say a UFO comes through an electromagnetic storm, or a thunderstorm, or whatever, or they run out of power, or they just a computer malfunction.
They run out. How often do our planes run out of power?
Well, I don't know how
Could
often do
happen
our
in a
planes.
lightning
How often
storm.
do our planes visit other
Planets?
planets?
I'm just saying that if they're the ones that engineered it, no, I had to couch all this to say, I honestly, this 100% could be true. It doesn't make much difference to me because what can I do about it? And I don't know how it affects my life. But I think it's interesting. I don't mind you sending these articles because they're like, huh, interesting. But most of the time I don't give it much thought because, again, what impact does that have on me? But I have to say, 6 to 12 crashes, aren't these way more advanced? Why are they crashing more
Well, I
than
don't
we're crashing?
see them crash. I don't think they're crashing every day. I think that they've been crashing over the last 80 years. And some people have said that the crashes are like, it wasn't like a crash and then we went to the crash site. It was like dug up. Some of them were like dug up.
Oh, I see. They're like found from like
Yeah.
hundreds of years
Yeah.
ago or
How
something.
did they get covered? Just like
Erosion and how
That's
normal people,
like-
yeah. I don't know, man.
I got a question. If we knew UFO, what's the new term?
Oh, UAP.
UAP.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Let's say alien people are coming.
Okay.
And we know it.
'Kay.
And they're like, hey, send us
Cereal.
your best.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Send us your representative. Not cereal.
Oh, you represent.
Honeys, ship them.
Send us your representative because we want to talk with
Are we
someone.
talking-
Would you go?
If it was
Would
me,
you be that guy?
If it was me,
Yeah, they're like, we need to talk.
I'd be
to
like,
this
okay,
person.
time out. Are you looking for a podcast?
Time-
For a podcast. Do I need to bring my equipment?
We can
Number
get
2,
you on.
what's the travel like? Okay,
It's
am I
in
flying
Roswell.
first class?
Like, you got to get to Roswell.
Oh, okay. So I'm staying on Earth.
Mhm.
Absolutely, I would go. Why
You'd
wouldn't I go? Well, I mean, what would
Do you
be the
think
downside
you'd be
of going?
a good representative of the American
I
people?
mean, I don't know that I would represent family
What about
well
Earth?
enough that, like, Earth. I don't know. I have
Even
a
at the
decent
Manor
amount
family,
of
even.
prejudices, I guess, that I would be like, I don't know. Look, we're kind of psycho down here. Like,
Okay.
kind of some issues. And then I'd ask the aliens, are you Democrat or are you Republican? Like, which side do you see yourself? Because the narrative changes on the history.
This
Do
is
you
important. Whether
Shake
we
hands, hug. Like, what's the protocol?
I don't know, because I'm going to go into this. See, you guys know nothing. I could see that. Okay.
Well,
Number one.
I've listened to the
If
Blink
you-
182 song "Aliens Exist."
Okay, that's fine. And then if you watch the Virginia, Brazil, a gentleman picked up an alien,
A life,
a life form, an alien life form from another
Alf.
planet.
I've seen that show.
He died the next day.
But the
If you
alien,
believe
the guy did?
the alien was wandering around town. If you can believe it or not. Okay, got to see it. Incredibly fascinating.
Jordan shaking his
no,
head.
it's incredibly fascinating.
Believe it or not, you said.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
I could
Big
not
some
been
up.
to
believe it.
Brazil.
So I
Jordan.
wouldn't shake
I
their
have.
hand or hug them because I'm like, am I going to get an
Oh.
infection? Am I going to infect
Would you
them?
wear a mask?
Oh, I wouldn't wear a mask.
Okay.
I don't want to wear a mask.
That's disrespectful.
That's kind of lame. It's like, what? What are they going to get the cold? No, I mean, it would be in different rooms, and I'm like super fascinated. Like, I think that's the biggest story of our lifetime, if that's true. And I also think in the next 5 years, we'll see pictures or video evidence that the government has of these spacecraft. I honestly believe that.
real or AI generated.
Okay, Jordan,
Either one.
I honestly think, I really do think that. That's my.
I agree with Matt. Either one.
really
Yeah, I think we'll see
that'll
one of the
happen.
two.
And you know what I mean? And you losers, when the aliens come
No,
down
I'm
and they're
not.
like, "Oh, you didn't believe," and they're like, "Brandon did. Brandon, you're in," and I'm gonna be like, "That's right." And then they're gonna be like, "Do you know Matt?"
Is faith? Is that a requirement for their? They would need
yeah,
faith.
They
Is
do.
that
And
what
then
it is?
they'd be
Faith.
like, they'd be like, "Hey, do you know Matt and Jordan?" I'm like, nope, I don't know them.
I don't know those.
Who are
suckers.
them? Nope.
No, look,
Don't even know.
I joke about this, but I'm fascinated. I think it's really interesting. And if there is actual evidence out there, definitely should know about it. We should fight to know.
I want to see it
right?
so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like what I've done is I've read. There's like a 6-part series book, and I read the first book, and then I look up online. I'm like, when's the next book coming out? And they're like, nope, no release date. And now I'm just like, oh, I need to know the rest of the story. That's where I'm at with UFOs right now.
I wonder if
That's how I
aliens
feel.
have DNA. That's what I would want to know. map the.
their
Yeah,
genome or no?
yeah, that's a good question.
That'd be interesting.
Isn't there life on Europa? I think there's life on Europa. They
Like
suspect in that. Anyway,
cells, like germs. What type of life?
yeah, like living things, right? Not like intelligent life, but I think their DNA, right? That's supposed to be the basis
All
of
life forms.
I don't know. Anyway,
No, that's interesting.
yeah.
It's interesting. Speaking of life forms in the human realm,
Hmm.
in the Earth realm,
Back to reality.
there's an interesting developing situation with Reddit.
Well, I mean, do you know what the logo is for Reddit? The little
Oh, is it an alien?
Yeah.
it's the Reddit alien guy. Yeah, baby.
Antenna.
See, Reddit, dude.
Yeah.
In fact, I want to go on to the Reddit forum, like /aliens. I think there's got to be some legit stuff on there.
Have you listened to any alien podcasts?
So, Joe Rogan,
Oh yeah.
and
You can't go to Reddit aliens right now because it's
okay.
dark.
So
Sorry.
describe that, because that's a
What do you
that's
mean-
something
what do you
that's
mean
really
dark
interesting.
For
Yeah.
our listener.
Yeah, so Reddit, most of Reddit right now, if you go to like Reddit Funny, that's probably my favorite Reddit community, r/funny. But they're most Reddit subreddits, and I use Reddit all the time. I know Brandon, you're familiar with it. Matt, how familiar are you with Reddit?
Semi-familiar.
Relatively. Yeah, so Reddit is a big website, pretty much a forum. It's probably the biggest forum on the internet, 9th most visited website in the internet, and all these they have subreddits. Pretty much a subreddit for anything. There's a subreddit for Idaho.
like a
there's
category.
subreddit for Boise. It's like a category, right? And they're all created by individuals. So you can go create one called Reddit Matt Lamb. I think, Brandon, you are a moderator of one. What was yours called? Jokes with candy bars or something?
Sure.
Yeah. No candy bar
Yeah.
jokes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
candy bar
it's
jokes. Brandon
pretty
is
If you're gonna
he's a moderator of a subreddit. So any topic you want, that's why I love Reddit. Because any topic you want, you can find a subreddit for it, and it's all volunteer moderated, right? Someone owns it, they moderate it themselves. Well, Reddit made a change to their pricing, access to their API, that affected some people that built some third-party apps that helped access and do some things on Reddit. And the price changes are the example. The main example is a creator of a guy called of an app called Apollo, which helped the moderators of Reddit especially do their job, right? So it made it easier for them. And the guy makes like $500,000 a year in revenue because he has 50,000
Apollo?
users, $10
Apollo?
a year.
Yeah.
In Apollo, right? Mm-hmm. But with the API changes, it's going to be $20 million a year for just his expenses.
Oh, that just his expenses
What
are.
was that?
Okay.
Just his expenses. So he has to shut down. So he's saying, hey, I can't, sorry, everyone. And now the moderators love this app because it helps them do their job. So they're really, and in protest of these pricing changes, they're going dark for 48 hours or something. Now, it started off with just some of the bigger ones, and now it's spread to it's most of Reddit right now. It's down. Like if you go to Reddit Idaho, Reddit Aliens, Reddit Funny, they're all like shows that the price.
How does Reddit make money?
It's advertising, only advertising.
So these moderators, they can take down these subreddit pages. Is that what they're doing?
Well, it's supposed to be like your forum, right? So you start it up, you can make it private, is what it is. And so like, okay, now only people that we allow, only they can access it. And so that's what they've done is they've gone through and made it private. Now I think ultimately in the terms of service, I'm sure Reddit could say, well, we're going to make all these public again. But then the moderators are probably going to get pissed and say, okay, well, I'm not going to moderate it anymore. And then Reddit has to, Facebook, I think, pays hundreds of $millions a year to moderate content to make sure that Twitter as well. And so they don't have to pay for that. But at the same time, Reddit needs to make money. They're a loser. They're not profitable right now. And eventually they're probably going to want to go public. But they're a huge site. So I think it's an interesting who's right, who's wrong here.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts first are that I think they screwed up by allowing the API such easy access before. It's like, because you could pull like pretty much all of the Reddit information kind of for free. I don't know how much it was before, but it was not very expensive. And even suspected that probably ChatGPT probably got most of their training data from Reddit because they could just use the API and pull all that. So ChatGPT has trained their model on a big chunk was probably from Reddit conversations, forum data, whatever. And Reddit just had to pay for that. This was server costs, right? They paid for it because people were making API requests. And I don't think it's wrong for them want to protect that data. It's their data. They built it. They're paying for it. And they need to make money. And the fact is that Apollo, for example, it's kind of a better skin for Reddit. So what it is like he built like a better Reddit, but using the Reddit data. So there's probably still ads on it, but the fact is that Reddit is not getting any money from this monetization this guy's doing. And so I think Reddit is okay to do this. I think they screwed up originally to allow it so open in the beginning, and now you're having this, ripple.
I think anytime
whiplash.
a company makes a big change that affects the legacy users, that those legacy users get super angry. But man, I bet you the users are so addicted to Reddit, it's like they'll move on.
Yeah.
Like there will be a little bit of a strike and then they're going to move on.
Out.
That's kind of how I feel too. Like, honestly, like I see people talking about it, like, oh, Reddit's going to be the worst. I'm just like, I don't even know what these other apps are. I was like, I didn't know they existed. I just I didn't know there was a problem with the current Reddit.
I guess it's kind of similar to when Elon Musk took over Twitter. All of these users were like, screw Elon, we're moving. Like,
we're going to Mastodon.
Or when a new president is elected, we're moving to Canada.
Yeah,
to Canada, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I mean, it sucks for the Apollo guy.
Yeah, it does. That sucks. Now, that's the risk you have anytime you build on someone else's platform, that they can make a change and you could get screwed by that.
Yeah.
But I think, something should allow you, at some point, some company, is there a point when they're too big to fail? And I don't mean like too big to fail like the government's going to save them, but they're too entrenched. Social media platforms often have a huge, because the network effects, right? All your people are there already. Everything's already there. It's hard to go somewhere else where there's nothing. Right. But at some point, they could do enough to probably drive people away. I don't know if this is it. I would think not. I
had a teacher in college who explained social media as, it was an interesting analogy where he would say Facebook or Reddit or Twitter, they are the hive, and all of the worker bees are the people that participate. And they don't pay necessarily the worker bees. And that's what Twitter's trying to do, where they're trying to compensate heavy influencers, right? To pay some of these queen bees that are there. But he always said, look, if the hive does something to piss off the worker bees enough, they're going to go find a different hive. And he's like, that's the risk that all of these places are running, where if you don't have paid employees that are required to be there, and they're just volunteer moderators or volunteer worker bees, and those worker bees get upset enough that they find a new hive that's more comfortable. But we haven't seen that ever happen yet, right? With a really large enough social media, like the name brand ones, like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Reddit, it's like.
But Facebook's gone down. I mean, I don't know. Facebook stock's gone up, obviously, but I think users that's shifted. Or am I wrong? Or do you think like Facebook's global adoption is
little
still increased?
Jokey, but I mean, people left MySpace. Like, it's a real thing. The site was super clunky and was full of ads, and
Facebook was a better version. Was it entrenched enough, though? Like, you think Facebook's like super entrenched, and is it going to go away ever?
Early on,
globally, Facebook I think is still really, and I bet you it will go away at some point. I bet you it will go away, Facebook, because I feel like
that's a bold statement.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
Aliens and
dude, I'm just throwing it all out today. Like, look, if you
hot takes,
the world
hot takes right here.
Listen to this episode.
Listen to this podcast.
No, I think it will. I mean, I just think the utility is going to go away. I mean, even they see it as like, we need to get into Web3 or this virtual social media thing. And so I just think, I just think at some point, it seems like the demographic in America of the people that use Facebook are older people and companies, that are advertising Pride Week. It's kind of, that's it, right? Whereas if you want to go to a social media platform and really, engage in it, it's not the same as it used to be. Facebook was like a Rolodex of where you kept track of a bunch of people. And then it seemed like, for me and a number of people that I associate with, they got tired of that. Like, you don't need to keep in contact with 2,000 people. So you just go to where your interests are.
And you left.
Yeah. I left Facebook.
I left.
You left Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever have Facebook?
I did. Early on.
I remember
Jordan had Facebook. Do any of your companies have a Facebook page?
Yeah, but we can't get access to it.
Dude, I'm in the same boat. I don't know how to access it, but yes, I do.
I had to have a Facebook account to get it. Now I don't have my personal one, and the link is broken, and
that one is
can't recover it.
The thing is, with e-commerce, though, Facebook is pretty good, isn't it?
Facebook is pretty good with e-commerce.
You're not selling to consumers, though, so that's probably could be a difference. Right?
I don't know. I think Reddit will be fine, and I think the people will get over it because I think the addiction is too high. It's too strong to like really leave. Reddit is the most dynamic social media of all of the ones that we said because of the engagement of the users that go on there and post, and seeing your post upvoted.
You posted a golf question, right? We were giving you crap about which shot was harder.
Yeah,
right?
Was a better shot.
It was a better shot.
And by the way, all of my posts go through Jordan because I don't have enough karma to post.
Oh,
you can't.
Well,
even post,
I don't know.
really?
I don't know if I can or not, but it's always easier. I'm like, Jordan.
Some subreddits
Yeah,
have
but
limits.
you posted
some
that and got a response by several people.
A decent amount of response.
That's what I love. I love it about Reddit. Honestly, I love it because it's like I remember we were doing we were in a rental and there was like wiring behind a fireplace above it, and I took a picture and I put it on like home electronics. I was like, hey, is this up to code? And they're like, no. All within like 20 minutes. Like any question, like, and this is a super niche.
I took
like,
a picture
subreddit.
of 6 chickens. Or small
yes,
chickens.
Yes.
Individually or a group photo?
A group. They were all in a group. And
Group
I said,
photo.
I think one of these is a rooster.
And we pointed at which one we thought. Like,
We
think
had
this
like
was a rooster.
15 people. They're like, yeah, that's a rooster. Yep. And then we're like, okay.
It was like Reddit. r/chickens.
Chickens.
Yeah.
And then, but I was heavily invested in the golf Reddit. And I posted one time, I had a golf ball that I kept for like 49 holes. And it like spurred this trend for a little bit of people posting a golf ball that they kept for the most holes, because in golf you lose a golf ball pretty quickly. And so it's fun. It's fun to have that community engagement, and so
no, Reddit is, there's so many that are so like, what isn't there like birds with arms? There's like a Reddit just for birds with arms.
That's
And it's
actually
like,
pretty fun. That is
it's really like, it's just like a picture of like a bird and they have Photoshop like arms onto them, and it's so good. Like
but wait, they're not making,
and there's thousands
money?
like that.
I guess I never considered that. Yeah.
Reddit,
The birds with
they have advertising, but it's like they're losing money. They're not profitable. Like I would say they're number 9 in the internet for the biggest website. I bet they're making the least amount. How many ads have you
None.
clicked from Reddit?
None. I don't even remember
Me either.
seeing ads on Reddit, to be honest. It's all probably gaming stuff.
I think that's, yeah, well, it's like, I think Reddit are normal power users. Like our parents don't even know what Reddit is probably. So they're going to be, we know we have like ad fatigue, right? We just kind of scroll past it, don't even see it. Just
the
block
issue
it out.
is if Reddit goes public, it will significantly change everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to be forced to make more and more and more money. And the more money you have pressure to make, the more ads and the more changes you're going to make.
Well, I think that's what's happening now. I mean, once you take venture capital, anytime you take a large investment, you now have to think at some point you have to have some kind of liquidation event, which has to, you got to do something to make money.
They may even be forced to shut down the birds with arms page.
Oh, don't stop it.
I mean, if you're going to clean house,
stop it.
Let's not get too drastic.
Is Reddit,
Matt.
is r/aliens, is that public or is that private right now?
Private, baby.
it's down. Dark.
Can't do it.
As it's,
The amount
birds with arms.
of conspiracies on that r/aliens on Reddit has to be exponential.
a lot.
You probably could go to a conspiracy theories subreddit. I'm sure. It's probably down right now. Like Birds with Arms is also down.
Birds with Arms was hilarious. Like, it is really funny. Very similar to the cartoon, the Candy cartoon.
Would you
Thread.
adopt
Jokes.
an alien?
The thing is, when they come down, I will
When they come
literally
down,
be like,
oh boy.
get Matt. Get Matt.
Get him?
Yeah, get him. I'll be
Get
like,
him!
"Look, he never believed in you.
No.
He never cared about you." And I was like,
I don't think they care about faith. Are you mad if the aliens don't believe in you?
Yeah.
the ones that visited.
I don't. Why do they care? This is not a god. They're not like,
get
they don't
that. I'm
want
just
faith.
gonna say, look, he was not cool about it, and I was, and that should, when you enslave us, then I should be.
Look, I've
I
seen
should have
signs.
a chill.
I've seen Signs, the movie.
Would you adopt an alien?
Yeah. Are they nice?
I don't know.
They clean up after themselves?
Are anybody you? I don't think
wouldn't
anybody
say
you
no.
adopt.
I
cleans
wouldn't
up.
say no.
Maybe your wife would. It depends. It depends where their age is, right? I don't want to adopt anybody that's older than my
You don't
kids.
want an adolescent alien. That's tough.
What if it's like older than your kids in terms of like, they last like 3,000 years, and so
like
like 100 years, there's
like
still
a
like
Grogu situation. A baby Yoda.
yeah, like a Grogu. Yeah,
Grogu
exactly.
50, but in a
Yep,
baby
yep.
form.
Mm-hmm.
I would adopt
That's right.
Grogu, Baby Yoda. I think that'd be bomb. Doesn't talk back. Just kind of hangs out. Feed it frogs.
Dude, he eats random stuff he's not
All
supposed
right,
to.
that's fine. No, my
Yeah.
kid. That's exactly like my kids.
All their friends would be like, I have the stuffed animal. And he's like, no, I got the real thing.
Yeah, I got Grogu. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious to see how Reddit works out. I mean, I'm sure within the next week or so it'll get figured out. And
Well, it's a 48-hour protest, and then we see what happens. And then we probably will
I
never
wonder
hear
what
about it again.
happens, though. Do people just like, yeah, we're going back to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just to show that they're protesting, but again, they're not saying they're going to be done. I wish I could see Reddit's Google Analytics right now to see like, this is just go
I do
down.
think that they should consider paying moderators based on how
something. I mean, they would probably rather. It seems like you'd rather just give a deal to the guy. Like, I don't want to pay for moderators. I'll just give a quiet behind the door, some grandfathered in plan for this guy.
I know.
The Apollo guy.
I just think
or whoever
I do
is making
think
the
that
stink.
social media is going heavily, like YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. They like really want the big players to stay there and to keep their people there. And if you have a big thread and you're the moderator of it, why not? Why can't you share in some of the revenue of that thread?
Yeah, because they don't get paid, right? There's no way for them to.
Yeah.
Like, does a moderator have that big of an impact on? Like, can you tell really good ones? I mean, is there only one moderator per subreddit, or how?
No, they could as many as you want. Like bigger one, like Reddit Funny has like millions and millions of people looking at it and submitting posts, and and most of the time, a lot of it's upvotes or not. But the smaller subreddits, it's like ads all the time. People are just like, "Hey, look at my service." You go to Reddit/entrepreneur, and people are like, "Hey," they're trying all their tricky ways to be like, "Hey, look at." I'm a consultant. How can I help you? And they're really just trying to sell their services, right? And they're trying to weed out good content versus just advertisements. And that's a tough thing to do. Maybe AI.
That's a good one.
Honestly, it could,
from
right?
Reddit,
Absolutely.
ChatGPT.
That's a good one. AI.
It could fix it.
It's like a full circle. That's right.
Well, that's an interesting topic for sure. Leave a comment.
Yeah. You don't have to be human to leave a comment.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, there's a captcha though on YouTube.
But it doesn't ask if you're
no, it's human. Prove you're human though, Matt. Prove that you're human. They can't.
Sometimes it says we want to prove that you're not a robot.
I'm talking about
who knows? Aliens?
Robots?
Well, I think sometimes on the website it's like, hey, let's prove you're human. The alien's like,
it does say that. I mean, they couldn't get into that
go to
one,
a different
obviously,
site.
but
that's how you fight
somewhere.
a battle with aliens. You send them through a link that they have to stop.
I think we need to loosen our definition of human to
what?
include aliens.
Dude, me and Jordan are going to continue this conversation because Matt obviously just points his finger. He points his finger at these Area 51 guys as losers. Thanks for joining us on the podcast. Check us out on YouTube at the Founders Pod. Search YouTube at the Founders Pod. Check us out on Twitter and the different social medias that we just trashed. We do not have a Reddit.
We should.
Well, we might. We don't know, right? I mean, our fans could have made it.
And that's it for this week's edition.
All right. Thanks, everyone.